as Matt shared, I have a little bit of history in the life insurance business. My father was a life insurance salesman back in the 70s. He was going door to door for combined insurance. And I remember I knew what company he worked for because I used to see all the swag in his office, right? Like whether it be like the
Sure.
bags or the pens or what have you, you know? And then I had a short little stint earlier in my career, working for Edward Jones and getting my insurance license and things like that. But I think what's interesting about what all of you are sharing is that there's this very delicate line between selling what was looked upon in the early days and educating. And,
Hmm.
my story is that my father fortunately had a term life insurance policy, kind of like the example that you shared, Matt, where it wasn't, he didn't put a lot into it, but at least he had it. And unfortunately, he passed away at age 52. And without that,
Mm.
with my situation with my mom, I don't know what she would have done. Right. And so, like, I was always involved in it. I always knew the importance of it. But then when it really hits you in your life, then there's no negotiables. Anybody that I've ever spoke with, any conversation we ever have. And so I talk about this fine line between selling and educating because I look at the early days, Steve, when you talk about the decision that you made to put the money towards that versus maybe going out and spending it at the club or wherever, right? Or what we would consider entertainment dollars. And I look at the work that my dad did early on in his career, knocking on doors. And sure, like it might have been perceived as selling, but if five individuals got to purchase that policy and something happened to them and or their family, then how beneficial is that? It just happened to be that like
Mhm.
at that moment, as you guys know, because the benefit of that decision is so far removed and it's something that none of us want to accept and deal with, it
Yep.
always has, put the industry unfortunately in this negative light. Yet I think, and after hearing the both of you and all the great things that you've done, is that this transformation in the financial space that Matt talks about is about starting to share stories, right? It's anytime you share a story with something just happened, all of a sudden I feel like then it resonates. And to your point, Steve, you match that with the facts and a lot of the work that's been done in the industry. And I mean, I can't hear of anybody that I've ever worked with where if they've made that decision to do something right by their family, that they don't look at it as a negative situation.